Bounding into Comics used to be a website that had the cultural wind at its back. It was a site that hit on Disney, hit on video games, hit on comics, on every cylinder. And we called out, when I was working there, the people who are destroying our culture, that are bringing the satanic, evil identity politics agenda, and that's what it's about. You guys might have noticed over the last year that it's changed a lot. The article titles really are not hitting hard anymore. They're just doing movie reviews and things like that. It's because of a corporate change that was initiated last year. And I'm ready to give the tell-all of exactly what happened starting in November of last year as this site reached its downfall. Because things have changed in the cultural landscape, and there's a couple of new places that you need to go in order to get your news every day, and Bounding is no longer it. They're trying to be the new IGN or comic book resources, and that's exactly the space they're falling into, and they're certainly falling. We'll get into the entire thing in just a moment. My name's John Delarose, and of course, I am the most trusted name in comics news and science fiction fandom, and I have been working on my site, the Fandom Pulse, which is on Substack for a while now, and this is at fandompulse.substack.com. Best part is you can sign up. I write about an article or two every day. You get the emails here when they come out. We've got one today on Ryan Kinnell getting targeted by leftist trolls for his, demonetization. Basically, it's really sad. And YouTube's doing a really crazy thing, which you should go look at. I might make a video on this later today also, but it's there for now if I don't. And this is your spot to go for news that nobody else covers. And so I really seek out stories that are different, that are unique, because, a lot of people all cover the same stuff. And it usually comes from one other source, which is where the old editor-in-chief from Bounding Into Comics went to, which you need to adjust your reading habits also. But for now, sign up for this in the description below. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button here. The other thing that Fandom Pulse does for me is YouTube doesn't always give out live stream notifications here. And so I want to get more of you guys hanging out in our community and all that. So I do blast out live stream notifications when I go live on the Fandom Pulse site, and that's been helping people get to the live streams. So thank you guys so much for the support. Of course, Fandom Pulse is also great if you want to support my journalism. They have a paid option. All the content's pretty much free right now, but I do appreciate people who support us on this level too. It definitely helps with all the work that gets done here. It's a lot of work, and you paid subscribers are awesome. So thank you so much. All right, so I'm here, and the editor-in-chief of, former editor-in-chief of Bounding Into Comics, the guy who created it, John Trent, who actually is a far better journalist than I am, for sure, went to That Park Place. And he's cranking out like 6 to 8 articles a day. I do one, and I do one because I'm a fiction writer too. I write my science fiction. I write my comic books. You guys are probably aware. And I spend most of my time doing that. That's my passion, and I do the news kind of as a vehicle to deliver on that. But John Trent is a full news guy. This is what he does full time. And he just absolutely crushes it. I read a lot of his articles on here. You probably see That Park Place by a lot of YouTubers using it as well when they used to use Bounding Into Comics. Well, John Trent was the guy writing it, Bounding Into Comics back in the day. He was writing 6 to 8 articles a day there since 2018. He's the guy who founded it. He crushed it. If you don't follow John Trent, he's got a YouTube channel, The Trent Report, which he delivers stuff here. And he's also on X here at JF Trent. And he's great, Catholic, God bless America. And this is him. Definitely a person to follow as he just, of course, is posting articles, talking about what's going on. This guy's the real deal. Now, I don't work with him anymore. I just follow his stuff. And he left Bounding Into Comics back in October of last year. Now, what happened was Bounding Into Comics was bought by a company a couple years prior, and they were bought by a group called Intermarkets, I believe. And Intermarkets is like an ad placement kind of group. And then they got sold to somebody else, as I recall. Maybe it was, but so 2 years went by. They got sold to another company, and that other company came in and said, you know what? Ad revenue's changing, because last year there was a lot of big shakeups in just the way that Google was doing things. They were hurting a lot of companies, and they said, we need to tone down our content so that, we don't get flagged by all the Google algorithms. They gave John Trent this list of words he wasn't allowed to use. It was extensive. He showed it to me. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. They started editing his headlines afterwards. They went in there and just started removing stuff. And then they told him that they wanted to go get Disney access because access is where it's at. They wanted to be just like IGN, CBR, and get on those Disney lists when John Trent's entire mission is to bring down Disney. Disney is a satanic, evil corporation. So he doesn't want any part of that. So at that point, John Trent said, look, all this censorous stuff, Disney access, I'm out. I'm quitting. This goes against my morals. This goes against the entire purpose of this website. This goes against everything we're doing. You're going to lose your fan base here. And they did. John Trent, over the summer, was clocking, there was one point he was clocking 6 million views a month and was beating Bleeding Cool, which is one of the stalwarts in the industry on that level. Since that point, we'll show you exactly how it's collapsed. Absolutely crazy. So 6 million views a month. It got taken over by a guy named Spencer Bakuli, who was one of the writers there under John. John was directing him for a while. But Spencer went with the full corporate agenda, and I'll show you kind of what happens at this point. And there's a reason he did. And if you look at his Facebook profile here, here he is. I know I'm late to the party. I've been advocating for this day for years. Whom should judge which type of love is valid or not? Today, the U.S. took a huge progressive step. I'll physically fight anyone who disagrees. So the new editor-in-chief of Bounding Into Comics is a woke activist, and he's intentionally subverting this website along with corporate. Now, he puts pronouns into his article, so if a troon uses, she, her, he respects those pronouns. He's all in on this stuff. He is a consumer all the way. And this is exactly who's taken over. And this is what corporate wanted. They wanted somebody who was going to just shill that line for Disney. And so that's exactly what they become. They've hired a recent Disney shill to actually report on Disney stuff and shill stuff as well. And when I left, it was actually because of censorship as well. So in November of last year, I stayed on for a bit thinking, you know what, maybe I can try to do this from the inside. John was a little faster on it. And he was like, I'm out. And he just was not going to argue with these people. But I tried. I started arguing with their corporate a little bit. I put out an article, and it was on the Whisper Network in comic books, and just talking about everything that was going on with the feminism and LGBTQ agenda in comic books in the industry. And somebody's coming out with a book on that, a gal who goes by the name of Penny Parker online, and she's writing a full book just detailing how the downfall of comics over the last few years under these people. And she names names. She names the names like Rich Johnston from Bleeding Cool, Heidi McDonald from Comics Beat, Gail Simone, Heather Rantos, all these people who you would expect. And they didn't like it. They wanted me to censor my article. They wanted me to take it down. They said it was not fit for print because Penny Parker is a person who's connected to the comic industry and goes anonymously. And they said, well, we can't source an anonymous person. I said, well, the anonymous person is just saying they're coming out with a book. Like, my news is that they're coming out with a book. Like, there's what, and I had to argue this. And it was honestly just because I was hitting hard on the woke agenda, and they wanted to tone that back for their website. Subsequently, other people have left the site who were definitely pushing on that. There were a couple of other great article writers on there. An editor by the name of Josh, I believe, no longer works there, or at least I haven't seen anything from him from a long time. There was a guy, J.B. Augustine, who really hit hard. He would name names and name them, if you know what I'm saying. And so, of course, kind of got pushed out over time, all because they need this agenda to go forward. Now, as they've done this, they've collapsed. Like, people do not really watch these so much anymore and watch this site anymore. But if you look at another thing that Spencer does, Spencer, what he does is he grabs, if you can go to That Park Place, and you can see how this all works right here. Concord reportedly costs $400 million to develop. Concord allegedly reveals cost 40. Oh, this is the same article. And so almost like 80% of his articles are just stolen from That Park Place and then watered down to be a little less hard on the woke for this. So he barely does any work for the site. It's really just a disaster all the way around. And same thing. CEO of Space Marine 2. And of course, we had the Space Marine 2 article that was down further on here because John does so many articles. Appears to confirm the authenticity of his comment. Same thing, same article again. So you'll see over and over. You can almost line them up, and Spencer comes out with them a few hours later, almost always. And so that's what he does. He steals the content of this website for the most part, waters it down, makes it less hard on the woke, And that's a lot of what goes on there. They've also recently created a fake profile. You can tell, I think this picture looks maybe like Spencer a little bit. I can't tell. But almost this guy's articles, these are new. This one showed up. I've run it through an AI check, and it is an AI author doing these too. So when they're not stolen from here, you can tell these ones are not much. It's in celebration of his 10th anniversary. Bandai Namco announces remastered for PS Vita, Action Freedom Wars. You can see that this is just like them copy pasting IGN news and things like that to try to get into that like normie algorithm there. So Bounding Into Comics has really destroyed itself on this level, and it's all because that Park Place and of course myself are doing the news that nobody reports elsewhere. And so Spencer's a little too proud to copy my stuff for the most part. He should, because I'm getting about 100,000 clicks a month on the Substack, and I just do one article a day. So you can imagine if I had a team doing 8 to 10 articles a day, we'd probably be able to compound that, into the millions very easily. And that's exactly what John Trent has done by writing 6 to 8 articles a day. So this is where things have changed already. And definitely follow me on X. I just hit 10,000 subscribers. Thank you, guys. So here, that Park Place now, for the trailing 28 days of views, for the first time, has overtaken Bounding Into Comics. And it's because they tell the truth. They tell the news that nobody else will. They don't pander to the establishment. They don't promote the LGBTQ agenda. And so people are looking for that source because look, there's already an IGN. There's already a Comic Book Resources. There's no reason to have another one, obviously, especially one that doesn't do it as well, which is what Bounding Into Comics has turned into at this point. So huge congratulations for that Park Place. It's existed less than a year, and you could see like how fast he's done this and how it was all John Trent's work that was getting there. So if you're a YouTuber, or if you're just somebody who like has a casual reading habit and you've been going to Bounding Into Comics for years, just know that it's not the same people anymore. It is just woke people who have taken this over. They are not your allies. They're not your friends. They're obviously not even telling the news like they used to anymore. That Park Place is where all the hard-hitting stuff that Bounding Into Comics used to do does. Fandom Pulse Substack is the next spot you should go. And this is what we need to do to make sure we win the culture war going forward. And we are winning. I mean, if I've got 100,000 views, I'm obviously taking some from Bounding. If I had Google access and was posting my articles there, my obviously I'd probably be 4 or 5 times as much with these articles. And but I'm not. That Park Place is just destroying them already, and they've been slipping from the peak of 6 million views. Oh my gosh, what a number! And already down about 75% within 1 year. They're failing, and they deserve to, honestly. Just bad actors over there. All right, this is the truth of Bounding Into Comics. Thank you guys for tuning in, listening to our report here. Congratulations to That Park Place. Do make sure to follow That Park Place and follow John Trent, follow me, and follow my Fandom Pulse Substack. I'll put these links in the description below for you just so you can bookmark everything. And thank you so much for supporting. And again, if you want to support our journalism, definitely go for a paid subscribership. It helps us over here. Like I said, I put in a bunch of work and make reports that nobody else is reporting on. And so it helps us to continue. Thank you so much for being there. You're a great audience, and I don't want to appeal to a mainstream. I don't want to appeal to Disney. I never will do that. I'll never sell you guys out like that. It's really sad to watch what happened to a formerly great website. We'll be back soon.